I want to take a moment to begin this video and talk about this struggle we're having with this channel. It's really kind of the way that gun channels are interacting with Google and YouTube is affecting us, and it's affecting our ability to be able to produce content. So I want to take a moment and just ask you support us on Patreon, where a lot of the content we can't put here is going, and it supports this ministry. Welcome to a series called He Trains My Hands for War. We're going through the book of Joshua, verse by verse, to get a better understanding of what it really means to be in the army of the living God. But not just be in the army of the living God, but completely obedient, like this nation, an entire nation. You know, we see people around us that are obedient to God, but they're only a few, not an entire nation. So it's important to understand for us, because I believe, like many of you, that we are living in the time that we will see the second coming of Jesus Christ, and that means 3.5 years of tribulation. So how do we sustain for 3.5 years in the warring of the saints? God's the same now as he was then. He doesn't change. So the book of Joshua tells us how to be, well, just like that, victorious all the time, because God says he sustains us for 3.5 years in this war. So where we've left off is the Israelites have just crossed the Jordan River. There was a lot of instructions given on how to cross. God performed a miracle by stopping the water about 45 to 50 miles upstream in a city called Adam. And then a second that the priests stepped their feet into the water, and they stayed in there as everybody crossed. And then they built a memorial so that the children of Israel will never forget that moment. So we're just going to pick it up there. Joshua 4. Starting verse 4. Then Joshua called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the children of Israel, one man from every tribe. And Joshua said to them, cross over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of the Jordan. Each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, saying, what do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it crossed over the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so, just as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord had spoken to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them to the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. Then Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests who bore the Ark of the Covenant stood, and they are there to this day. So I kind of want to focus on just a really interesting sentence here. We're going to go back to Joshua 4, starting verse 8. And the children of Israel did so, just as Joshua commanded. Now, this is where I believe Americans will fail. This is the part where we will fail as Americans, as a whole, as a nation, because America is not a community. This was a community. They did just like he told them to do. And all of them recognized it, even if we go back to 1:16. And they answered Joshua, saying, all that you command us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. Just as we heeded Moses in all things, so we will heed you. Only the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your command and does not heed your words in all that you command him shall be put to death. Only be strong and of good courage. So here what you're dealing with is you're dealing with an entire nation. We're talking over 1 million people who are willing to do this thing. And they continue down this path as a nation, and this is where we will fail, because America is not a community. A community is where everybody puts in collectively for the good of the whole at the sacrifice of themselves, and that's not America. You'd have to leave the country to actually see that. You won't see that here. Maybe you'll see that in little tiny pockets. But an entire nation to do that is what it'll be required. And that's why the remnant, those who are here during the time of tribulation, are so incredibly important. So I hope this video helps. Any thoughts or insight on that, definitely put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And it's always love God, love your family, love guns.